Hello everyone, good evening. We are Group 8. Today, we talk about content is king, but who is the king of kings? As you can see, we talk about abstract. We look these three pictures about content marketing, sponsored content, and user-generated content. Despite agreeing focus on content marketing as a modern marketing tool, research on it expressed missing completed is a comparison of content marketing with other forms of content, namely sponsored and user-generated content. Also, these content types are of high relevance for the marketing strategy of a company. To fill this research gap, the present study examined how different content types are perceived and how they influence brand response through persuasion knowledge. Well, we look at part 1, Introduction. Firstly, you look right picture is beer guides. Content is King is the title of an essay which Microsoft founder Pierre Guys originally presented in 1996. We should focus on the question of what content is the best content. In other words, who is the king of kings? We look at these three types of content in the marketing literature. 1. Content marketing. 2. Sponsored content. 3. User-generated content. Though their importance for me literature of on persuasion and consumer behavior. Secondly, we look three content types: user-generated content, sponsored content, and content marketing. Okay, as you can see, we start to part 2. The topic about the role of persuasion knowledge. Divide persuasion knowledge into parts: conceptual and attitudinal. Conceptual persuasion includes recognizing a persuasion attempt and understanding that it comes from a certain source and uses specific tactics to target an audience. The study different between conceptual and attitudinal persuasion knowledge. You look three pictures about Xiaohongshu. Well, we look next part about hypothesis. Hypothesis about persuasion knowledge model. Explain how people react when they become targets of persuasion. Other researchers have proposed that persuasive knowledge consists of two components: the knowledge of persuasion chapter. This in turn affects if different content types need to different levels of persuasion knowledge participants' brand attitude towards persuasion attempts. Then we look at four methods: participants, procedure, measures. Okay, we move to results. Hypothesis formulated beforehand. You look this picture. include conceptual persuasion knowledge, attitudinal persuasion knowledge, brand attitude, and content type. Comparison between sponsored content and user-generated content is necessary. Then, user-generated content conditions compared to participants. Sponsored content seems to need to more critical response for viewers. No significant difference in the brand attitude when compared to participants from the user-generated content condition. Sponsor scored content. People in the content marketing condition had a more positive brand attitude than people in the sponsored content condition. You can see the picture conceptual persuasion knowledge, attitudinal persuasion knowledge, brand attitude, and content types. Their relationship is each influenced together. So we look this about discussion sponsored content condition compared to the user-generated content condition, content marketing, why consumers seem to perceive content marketing in a more positive way. Which content types is the best? User-generated content need to more positive brand attitude than sponsored content. For a company, this means that it should try to motivate users to generate brand-focused content by themselves. Okay, we'll look at last part about conclusion. The research on different content types is still in its early stage. While there is a good foundation concerning sponsored content and user-generated content, the research on content marketing is still lacking and comparisons between content types are virtually non-existent. This study provides some insight different between content types and how they affect brain responses. 1. Comparison compared to user-generated content. Sponsored content need to higher conceptual persuasion knowledge, so result in higher attitude persuasion knowledge and more negative brand attitude. 2. Interestingly, content marketing does not differ in this way from user-generated content, but does so from sponsored content, even though content marketing could be seen as even best, as the source of the content is the company behind the brand. 3. The benefits of content marketing assembly is perceived more favorable than sponsored content, but is still more contrived than user-generated content, and companies should consider creating their own content as marketing method. Okay, thank you for listening.